I think organizations are dealing with the fact that every company now is a technology company, and because of that, they have a lot that they have to manage. So as they develop applications, as the infrastructure in their environment grows, they just have a lot to deal with. So I think one of the biggest threats to most organizations is being overwhelmed. Yeah, when I think about challenges in the Middle East region, I think it's obviously growing really quickly, and I think like a lot of the rest of the world, there is a very big cybersecurity talent shortage. So finding people to do the jobs to keep these organizations secure, I think is a challenge that's probably growing here faster than other parts of the world, just because the need for talent and then the need for cybersecurity is growing probably faster here than it is in a lot of other parts of the world. I think the best CISOs that build great culture really work on not only finding great people, but really finding people that are aligned with the mission of their organization, not just the security project. So I think when CISOs are thinking about building their teams, finding people that are motivated by not only being secure, but also motivated by what the goals of the business are is super important. And as you bring great people into the business, they attract other great talent. So I think that's important in building great culture, that consistency, and that ability to find people that are mission driven. I think it's really easy to get excited about new technologies that are out there. Threat detection is obviously always changing. There's always new vectors and always new threats. But I think it's really about finding what's going to be effective for our organization. Can you actually take in that new telemetry, that new intelligence, and deal with that new asset type or threat vector? And really understanding, is it going to help you be more secure, or is it just more that's going to generate noise that you have to go manage? So really thinking about signal to noise ratio is super important. I think customers right now are really thinking about how do they keep and motivate their teams. There's a lot of organizations that are dealing with staff turnover, and that's really associated with them doing a lot of work that's not super valuable, or not feeling like they're getting a lot of job satisfaction. So kind of going back to your question about culture, I think it's really about helping people grow in their careers, but also giving them the ability to feel like they're making a meaningful impact on the posture of the business and the success of the business, and things like automation really help them do that. I think, like many years, next year is more of the same, but more of it. I think things are only going to go faster. I think there's only more threats that are going to be out there, new techniques that are going to be used, and more tools that we have to manage. And it doesn't feel like we're getting a overabundance of people to work on it. So really having that ability to keep up with everything that's going on is really top of mind for everybody. I think multi-layer defense is super important. As I think about the practices of defense in depth, being able to kind of propagate the telemetry throughout all the tools you've invested in, that's super important. But what makes that difficult is all the changes that are happening. You have changes in compliance, you have changes in tools, you have stakeholders that are changing. So that ability to actually bring all that together, but be able to manage for that change in real time is super important. And I think to have a multi-layer defense capability, you really have to be able to adapt to that change and have the technologies and people that really understand that this is always going to be fluid and never going to stay the same. I think insider threat is always really difficult. It's very difficult to understand your standard user from a malicious user. But I think being able to get really robust telemetry, manage it in real time, and be able to reference that against kind of what is known good, both from a baseline perspective, but also just from a lookup perspective, be it internal things like CMDB or directory services. That ability to understand what's normal and validate what's normal is a great way to identify insider threat. I think one thing that we hear a lot about is really this expansion of how automation is being applied to organizations. So a lot of people think about automation, they think about security operations and the SOC, but I think folks are starting to think a lot more about OT security, fraud, vulnerability management, and all the other aspects of security, from board reporting to compliance. And I think that is a place where automation can be applied and would be really valuable. So I think that's something that I think people should be thinking about both now and into the future.
Thank you so much. much. It's been a wonderful discussion.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.